adorable. Welcome, folks, to the Michaud Show. This week, my guest from the mighty Woodshed, Hunter Venturo. How you doing?
Good. How you doing?
Oh, you might want to get a little bit closer to the mic there.
Too far away.
Yeah,
Right.
you kind of got to eat it. Well, I mean, you know, it's probably not dietary good for you, eating mics.
Fiber.
Fibers, yeah.
Microfiber.
Oh, so how have you been?
I've been good. Working.
A lot of working, yeah. That's
Just doing the family thing.
doing the family thing. That's great.
Yeah.
That's great. So yes, I mentioned from the band Woodshed, main songwriter and such. Would you say the mastermind?
Yeah, I guess. Stuck with it this long, I guess.
Yeah. So speaking of, how long you guys been doing your thing?
Like all together, or
Yeah, we'll say all together. Just
God.
history of the shed for the folks
Yeah.
watching that don't quite know the history.
13, 14 years now. Yeah.
All right. So that means, let's see, because it's about, you got to, like, how I figured it, it's about hit record every 10 years you put into it. See?
Oh man. Well, that didn't happen first at 10. So.
Yeah, well, it never happens the first 10. That's just the average.
Oh yeah. No. Yeah. It's been a long time. Gone through some different members.
Yeah. Well, that's good. It's, you know, because if you think about it, it's like members just have to rotate after a while. It's like keeping, you know, not everyone,
Yeah.
even AC/DC changed their lineup. I mean, due to reasons and stuff, but
Yeah.
but yeah, you know,
Stuff happens.
stuff does happen. And yeah, but it's like because if you think about like jazz musicians, it's like those guys go through bands like they're popcorn,
Yeah.
all different lineups where it's like, you
All
know,
different lineups all the time.
yeah.
I don't even think they have bands. I think they just
Oh,
play.
just being like, okay, who is around and who's available right now?
Oh,
That's probably exactly what it is now. More I think about it. So got anything down the pipeline? You guys working on anything new? Any shows coming up?
Oh yeah, we got a few shows. It's nice to. Well, I'm kind of nervous to go play a real show again.
I will. So that's I was telling you about. I did the show at the Mirkwood last month on the 19th, and it was very funny because I totally got butterflies and very hard
Yeah.
nerves in the stomach. Not even
Like,
before.
what's going on?
Not even before. Not even thinking about it. It was like maybe first song into the second song, and I'm like looking down, not paying attention, and then I look up, and then people are there and stuff. So it all, and then all of a sudden, just like something clicked in my brain, my stomach. It was like, whoa, I haven't had this feeling, and
Yeah.
oh gosh, but that was crazy because like the buzz afterwards, like I had forgot to do my warm-up smoke before I even usually like to puff a J or something before I play, and I forgot to do that. Did my set, which is probably why I got the butterflies, but like then did my set and didn't even end up. I was drinking Shirley Temples all night, and I had such a buzz off of just the initial just the performance and
Yeah.
stuff. It was also hilarious because I was sweating so profusely just due to it's also been a while since had them stage lights hit me for an hour straight.
Yeah, we played. We played a couple parties and like smaller stuff. But yeah, we haven't been under the lights in a while. Yeah.
Yeah. And you're excited to get back to it. Like, still going to be precautionary, but just like, because that's kind of been a topic I've noticed on social media and stuff like that. I had someone comment on my last bit of advertising, just that the fact I was doing a show was dumb. But so I mean, but it's just like what are your thoughts on that?
I won't go too in depth into my thoughts on this, but I don't know. I think as long as people are being safe the best they can. I mean, we're not going to be able to hide from this thing forever. It's just not going to happen. It's not how it works. So,
yeah.
know,
I mean, I agree with you, and just like because I'm at the point where it's, as far as going to shows and stuff, it's like, well, things are starting to slope down, and as long as people going out are trying their best to do the precautions, washing your hands, wearing a mask, whatever, that. Like, if you're still nervous about going out, just don't go out. It's okay, because I mean, it's just as dangerous at the grocery store or at the bank or anywhere else you go.
Right.
So it's like, it's really getting to a point of just like restricting businesses.
Yeah.
And also it's just, I mean, it's mental health really, I think, is just getting to a point where it should be considered as just like, as far as
it definitely. The psychological take on everything is
suicide rates have gone up since coronavirus, and you know what I mean? So that's something to take into account, because it's just like, oh, but they didn't die of the coronavirus, you know? It's like, yeah. Not to be a downer or nothing.
No, no, you're totally right though. It's just if you're scared.
Yeah.
If you don't feel like you should go out, then don't. But I don't think everybody has to do that.
Yeah.
Because, freedom and such.
Which, always a factor. When is the line between just like, what are you willing to give up for?
Right.
Just something that like is going to eventually be it's not like it's going to just be like this mindless monster that's just going to continue to just... Or maybe it will be, and it's like a big plague thing, but like, time will tell.
Yeah.
And at that point, it's not like we're getting any of this time back.
No.
At all. Like, just the days are still just going to go by, and so at some point, you do just got to start living again, but precautiously. Still do your safety precautions. Wash your hands. Try to social distance when you can. Wear a mask where you need to.
Right.
But it's also good to get like sunshine and just like, there's breathing and like looking human beings in the eyes is like way healthier for you than hiding in your house. It's, I bet there's some science behind it. I'm not exactly a doctor or a scientist or a doctor scientist, but that I do know that like sunshine and just like communication and just actual, if not to the point of physical touch yet, just being around other like humans is way healthier than isolation.
Oh, definitely. You can't. You just sit at home forever and video call people. This sucks. I actually want to hang out with you.
And the next thing you know, you start a podcast just to...
Yeah, there you go. No, we're excited to play some shows.
So where are you going to be playing? Where's the first one coming up?
We are playing at Tony V's in Everett on April 2nd with Old Dirty Buzzard. It's going to be a cool show.
Nice. What time and cover charge?
8 o'clock. Tickets. There's a ticket link if you get on Facebook. Go to Tony V's or whatever. And we'll share it on our page too, but because it's limited seating.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
That's gonna be kind of weird.
Mm-hmm.
But it should be cool. I've played plenty of shows where people were just sitting in there at their table.
Yeah.
Nobody was standing.
Yeah.
So.
No, and okay, that's something, because with like Tony V's, it is like, more of a venue and just definitely spot. Great spot. I love Tony V's. But it is funny to think about like, just more reserved there. Because yes, there's been plenty of Tony V shows I've gone to, though, where I end up just sitting and munching on some fries. And
yeah, it's going to be weird. I think it's going to be awesome, though, to see some faces we haven't seen in a while.
And actually get to play some music in front of some
play
people.
On a nice stage and all that. That's going to be sweet. We're excited.
Yeah.
Then we're going to Oregon the next day to play. I forgot the name of the place. I'd have to look it up.
Well, where could they find can they find a listing of your upcoming
If you
dates?
Go to our Facebook page. We usually post everything on there.
And that's facebook.com/Woodshed?
Woodshed Band.
Okay.
Yeah. And then you can go to our website at woodshedband.com. And we usually have all the info on there if I'm good about updating it. I've been slacking on that the past year because
Well, I haven't had to be active the last
burner,
year. Yeah. Which during the downtime, how much downtime did you guys really take off? As far as just like, were you still rehearsing, or did you actually get to take a break? Or
we had just gotten a new bass player right before all this happened, and so it kind of worked in our favor a little bit. It's where we played one show with him, like we prepared for that show, played one show with him, then coronavirus happened. So we just spent all that time practicing. We took about, I would say maybe a month of like, we'll
test the waters.
Test the waters. We'll ride this out. You know, we'll just stay home for a little bit, and then we started meeting and jamming regularly. Try to do it twice a week. Stay and keep the chops
Keeping
up.
the chops up, yeah, it's important. Any plans on recording or anything? Did you get any recording done?
No, we have done some record. We've recorded some demos recently. We've been working on a new record, so we're about halfway through that, kind of.
Nice.
You know, okay.
And you can find that at woodshedband.com. News on that, you will find
that. Yeah. We haven't booked any like real studio time yet.
Yeah.
But we're throwing down some demos so we can get it exactly how we want it.
Yeah.
All that stuff. So, yeah.
What are your feelings of punching in guitar lines, as far as like solos and stuff like that? Big fan of multi-tracking?
Oh yeah, I don't really have a problem with it.
How about chopping up guitar? How do you feel about, say, are you like one of those guitarists that do like 4 or 5 takes and then take like your best parts of the solo, chop it up, make sure they match?
Okay. Nope.
Okay, just checking, because I'm not even.
I'm more of a live track kind of guy.
Yeah, I as well am more on the live track side, but no hate against it whatsoever. No. But just I'm always curious because it takes a lot more discipline, I think, and I guess that's where I don't.
Right, yeah. In the past, I have like, you'd play a couple takes of it. Oh, well, I like the way I did this in this other one better than here. You know, we do a little bit of that sometimes, but
yeah,
I don't know.
For the most part,
like solo, just we'll hit it, and it'd be weird to like punch into it.
Yeah, I always enjoy stories of Bob Dylan where, like the East Nashville Skyline record, he hired some of Nashville's best and all that, and these session guys come in, and he hands out the charts. And they run them through them like once or twice, and everyone's thinking it's practice runs, and all of a sudden you just hear Dylan just be like, "Yeah, those are good. Okay, I'm gonna go," and just like take off. And the guys are like, "What?" And then the engineer's just like, "Oh, I think we're just gonna be using this." It's like, wait, I don't think we got the song down yet.
Oh, weird.
But it's just like kind of just like he's those.
No, I like to polish stuff up a little bit. That's why we were doing the demos for this stuff, because it's kind of a new direction of things, and we want to make sure we do shit right.
Yeah. Oh yeah, so with the new bass player, it has influence to a more newer sound, or is it going to be still a bit traditionally?
Yeah, we're kind of just kind of stepping in the. We were before that too, but going towards like a progressive. At least this album is going to be pretty progressive, hard. I don't know. I don't even know what you'd call it, but
I would throw out the metal word.
Yeah.
I mean, and
I think we definitely step into some of the metal territories there.
yeah.
Songs like Supervan. You've heard a couple.
You have 12 speakers in your live setup.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty metal, bro. So when you're recording,
if I set up both Super 6s,
I
have 12.
Yeah. You have 12 speakers in your live setup. That's pretty metal. I'm just going to say.
Yeah.
So when you're recording, do you just do one Super 6 or do you
Yeah, I usually just use the one.
Okay.
In most bars and stuff,
Yeah.
I just bring the one amp. I'm not going to lug both those things around.
Do you have a favorite one?
Yes. The OG one is my favorite one. The second one's like the backup.
Yeah, yeah. Is there a difference in tone? Like when you're messing with them, it's just like very.
Well, so in my main one, somebody replaced a speaker in it, and it's a different speaker, and so it sounds different from the other one a little.
Is it the Jensens in the?
Yeah.
Oh, those are great speakers.
But somebody swapped out one of the top ones. I can't remember what's in there. But I have to tell them when I go play. Like, don't mic that one up.
Oh, not a fan?
No, mic'd up it sounds like garbage. If it's just
blending in, that's fine.
Yeah,
but yeah.
But when I've had a couple guys mic it up, and I was just like, "What is that? Like, what is that guitar tone?" No.
I usually don't try to go for the top speaker. Like when I'm running sound, but like on this thing, my sweet spot's
confused.
like right here, just kind of right there. And I might, if I'm feeling saucy, throw one like up top as well, just to get both. But like most of the time, you try to keep everything low.
Yeah.
I think more for visual as well.
Yeah.
Aesthetics of the stage.
They usually go for a middle or a low one. They always, those guys always flash the flashlight in there. Like, oh, cool. Do you have a preference on speaker you want mic'd up? You know.
Well, yeah, you get more than two, it gets real.
Yeah.
Then it's like they probably have a preference.
No, I love that amp. It's awesome. It's a 72 Fender Super 6.
That's a sweet amp.
Yeah.
Actually, I had never seen one before until I saw yours, and
As soon as I played that thing, I was like, "This is it. This is my sound. This is what I'm using from here on out." I have some other amps that are really cool, but they're kind of like, I'll get a different flavor in the studio or something.
yeah, I always loved Fender amps. I also have a PV passion that I used to be real adamant about, but I've kind of dwindled the collection down a little bit. But it's just mainly because like one of my favorite as far as like PVs go is I like the PV Classic series because they're basically just like Fenders with just a little more mid-range. And I know a lot of people like to scoop their mid-range, and it's okay for people to be wrong is all I have to say about that.
I'm a turn the mid-range up kind of guy.
Yeah, I just like tone, and that's how I like to say. And I'm not hating on people who scoop their mids. Youngly Malstream dude. But
It's just not for me.
But it's just not for me. But if it's for you, that's great.
How is the solo going to stand out without any mids?
That's kind of what I'm thinking. But then again, when it's funny with amps, because I'll start to think about ones that I'm like tried and true
Maybe
to.
for like rhythm tracks and stuff, if you want to.
Yeah, and it does, guess, depend styles of music,
Right.
such like that. Because if you are doing that real, like, hair metal style of music, it's like scooping the mids is almost mandatory. Which still, I don't even know, because I take that back. Older I get, the more I start to have, like, guilty pleasure 80s metal, but, like, hair metal stuff is,
Oh,
like,
man,
being
yeah.
like, well, wait. Okay, their guitars are just way more gnarly. I just think that's because a lot of stuff you hear on, like, well, if people even listen to the radio, but a lot of radio stuff is like not really guitar driven music as much as it's guitar, like for like modern rock. I would have to say a lot of it, I've just noticed, it's just like, you know what I mean, I can't think of guitars that stand out to me that aren't guys that were from, say, 20 years ago.
Right.
Anyway,
Yeah, I know what you mean.
the new generation is just like,
Once in a
well,
while.
when you're playing all this gent stuff, and it's like, and I get it, it's cool. It's not my bag exactly, but just like, I really dig soulful guitar solos or something. It's just, technicalities after a while.
Wow, like
I might be taking hot takes, but don't mind me.
no, you like watch a video and you're like, wow, they're really good. I suck. I don't know all that stuff.
Yeah. But at the same time,
Yeah.
like, Dragon Force can be cool. I really do admire their talent, and the skill is like amazing.
Yeah.
But after a while, it doesn't sound from the heart. It doesn't sound like a heartfelt thing. It sounds like I am showing you every single note that I can play. And here you go. This is, I've been practicing the same line for hours and hours and hours and hours and hours.
Instead of just like, I'm gonna bend the shit out of this and just see where it goes.
Or just like, well, this is, I guess that's because I really like to just dive into, like, I don't like playing the same solo twice. I have licks that I stick to for certain songs and stuff like that to make it recognizable as the solo, whatever. But I usually don't attempt to, like, I don't plan one out really. I wait for the feeling. I was reading a Frank Zappa biography, and he had talked about, like, his records, he would really work out his solos and everything, but actual live shows were off limits as far as you could just see. It was kind of however you were feeling in that moment.
I do both. I have set solos, and then sometimes definitely live, I'm not going to stick just to what I recorded.
Yeah.
But on the last record, I had a couple solos where I just kind of was winging it. And what I did in the studio stuck, and now that's what I play live. So.
See, and that's a fun, I had been hired by this record label down in LA for legal purposes. I'm not going to say too in-depth stuff. Because it was like selling a song and then helping record it and stuff like that. And it was more like not exactly a ghostwriter thing, but I wasn't getting any publishing. I was going for a flat fee. But I went to go help record the song, and I didn't like the band that bought the song. Like,
Oh, no.
It was like, we didn't click. They took a song that started out as like a playful blues song and tried to turn it into this weird cowpunk rockabilly thing. And it didn't, in my head, it didn't.
I've never heard that before. Cowpunk.
In my head, it didn't work. But like, they were just like, no, well, it was also their song now. They paid, and I signed some papers, whatever. But they were still, but I was doing the lead track for it. And it was funny because I just remember I couldn't do it again if I tried. Through everything I could at it, as far as just every single little trick and nuance thing for like 30 seconds. And it was funny though, because just I remember getting done recording and the guitarist from the band was like looking at me.
Yeah.
Just with a kind of look of concern, and I went, well, better start practicing because I'm not touring with you.
Oh, shit.
But that's also happened to me several times,
Man.
trying to learn someone else's stuff. I'm not.
Yeah, I got asked to fill in one time, and I didn't end up doing it because it's just, I don't know, it's just not my thing, really.
Yeah.
It was going to be pretty difficult for me to like learn all of it, and then like while doing Woodshed and all the other stuff I had going on.
Yeah, like if you were taking a hiatus or something,
Right, like
or taking a break and just being like, "Oh, I've got time to do it."
Right.
Then, yeah. No. Yeah. I like to try to get involved with side projects and stuff, but only if I'm not really like. Right now, I'm working on a new album myself. www.zachmichaud.com. So right now I'm not trying to do too much other things because I'll get myself too distracted and end up putting the better songs into the side project. I have a bad habit of that, to where the songs I really just be like, oh, I should have kept that one for the damn album. This one ended up so sweet.
It's such a, when you have like a bunch and you're just like, okay, what do I want to put together? Am I gonna like? So I'm working on a soundtrack for a friend's movie. This guy I went to high school with, and I'm not gonna say too much about it because he's working on it, and I don't want to spoil anything. So, but he asked me to do some music for the soundtrack, and like, oh man, yeah. So I took it on, and I'm like, all right. So now I gotta write songs and not that are kind of different.
So
style.
first time doing a soundtrack, I don't think I've ever attempted. I ended up in a soundtrack, but I did not know I was going to be a part of it. But different approach. So you got to sit there and make the music for the scene.
For the movie.
For the mood. You're basically setting
Luckily,
the
it's
mood.
like it's set in the 70s, so I'm kind of doing the one song I'm working on now is kind of this bluesy, like almost Rory Gallagher kind of style.
Okay, yeah.
Thing. So let's see where it goes. But they seem to. He called me random and was like, "Hey, I need you down in Seattle for this scene." And so I'm gonna be in it.
Oh, nice.
They were shooting a scene, and I'll be in that. And
so I have a movie star in the house.
Yeah,
That's.
Guitarist
I mean
famous.
the studio. The studio.
Well, so I went down there and I'm like, what do you want me to play? Because I haven't really got there very far into this project at all, and so I had like this something I kind of came up with in my head on the way there, kind of thing.
Oh,
and
those can be the biggest gems sometimes.
got there and played the first little part of it, and still trying to like figure out what I'm doing. And he's like, "Oh, it's great." I'm like, "Oh, great. Can I go like? Is there somewhere I can go like practice if I'm gonna be playing this? For, like, how much do you need me to play?" It's like a minute. I'm like, "Oh no." All right.
Oh, I only got 40 seconds.
So, I got to the point where I was like, I'm gonna just repeat this chorus hook line again because I don't know what to do. But no, he seemed to like the hook part of it, so I'm rolling with that.
That's that's what makes music so grand, is sometimes just being able to stick on a hook or a chorus.
Right.
That's Doug Stanhope, the comedian. I love him so much as a comedian. He's like one of my top 5, maybe all time. Because he's just pretty straightforward, but he has a very negative opinion of music, just due to the fact that he doesn't think it's quite the craft, because you can sit there and just at one point just repeat yourself, and if it's a good beat and if it's a good tune, people are gonna love the shit out of it, and you're sitting there just like being like, I shit myself in bed, and you can just be repeating that, and if it's a good beat and groovy tune.
Doesn't it? Doesn't that bother you sometimes?
No, because as much as it does, then I sit there and some songs that I've written where it's like they're just sex innuendo or dick and fart joke songs,
Yeah.
and so I guess but because for so long of my like musical career, which you can follow at www.zachmichaud.com. Links down below. By the way, guys, I'm always looking for sponsorship. Walls are empty. I can hang your flyer there or superimpose words that you want. There'll be links below. Send me a DM in one of my links on www.zachmichaud.com. And then you'll be able to find out more on maybe doing some future sponsorship if you want to keep seeing entertainment like this. What were we talking about? Oh, okay. But then I just like, for the longest time, I wouldn't. I hated when people would just call me a comedian or just be like, "Oh man, your stuff is like comedy, just great." And it's like, and I wanted to be taken serious because a lot of my songs aren't comedy songs.
Yeah.
They're I like to think of them as like heartfelt stories that sometimes will get other emotions than just laughing. And if you really listen to the words, they're pretty in depth, kind of. Usually always dark and twisted morbid, so it's not projecting, but but at the same time it's funny because there'll be times where I'm chugging through my set and just kind of crowd's not getting into it, but I swear I pop on to one of my nice classic smutty bar tunes and all of a sudden crowd's right back in it and everything. But I've been trying to embrace it more recently because I guess I'm funny. I mean, looks ain't everything, but pretty good conversation too.
Yeah, you're a pretty funny guy.
Not quite a mushroom. That'd be a fun guy, but
Oh man.
puns for days.
Yeah. I'm definitely not I don't like to repeat things. Like I have like a hook. Like a lot of Woodshed songs would be like the hook line, but I'm not repeating what I'm saying, like the first chorus.
Yeah.
Like I got a different set of words for it or something. I don't know. Repeating yourself a lot just bothers me sometimes.
Yeah, I have songs that have repeated hook lines to where maybe it's the same 2 or 3 sentences and I'll change like the third one to be different, but it stays all in the rhyme scheme and stuff. But yeah, I even like to at least switch up some words I use to where, because it depends the type tune. I got some blues numbers where it's like, wait a second, no, you totally just repeat the chorus line because that's what fits.
Right, that's what fits. That's what you need to do. But yeah, some other stuff, it's like, well, I'm going to change the second line of the chorus. The first one will be the same or something, And,
or just I'll sing it in the same melody, but I'm just going to be singing different words because they'll get it when the music hits different.
But
how do you feel about bridges? Are you a fan of just like, do you want to throw a bridge in every song, or
bridges
does it?
are really nice. They help you get across things.
I mean, they really do.
I live across a river, so I like the bridge there.
The bridge is good.
I'm looking for the bridge. Look at that Zeppelin song.
Oh yeah.
Has anybody seen the bridge?
James Brown was always looking for the bridge.
It just depends on what you're writing, really. Sometimes, this other part where this big change would be really cool. I have a lot of songs that are like constantly changing. There's like different sections of the songs, and then you like circle back to the first one or something at the end.
Yeah. Oh man, hell, I've had songs that have changed 5 times over 6 years. Deal.
That can happen too.
But then end up going to a combination of each by the end of it, where it's take a little bit of something and then just say fuck it and scrap the whole thing.
Oh yeah,
and
that happens.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm not digging this anymore.
No, this is just
It sounds like something else. I don't know.
I'll sell this to Bieber. Are would you do that? Are you always in? Would you writing songs for other people? How do you feel in that situation?
I've never done it, and so I really don't know. I don't think I could bring myself to do that. Not that it's a bad thing, or me personally,
Yeah.
it would be weird for me. So
I laugh,
especially if I really like the song, like it would bother me.
oh, I
Like,
see.
no, I want to play it.
Well, as the songwriter, though, you can. I mean, unless you sign some sort of paperwork, you can't like publish it or whatever. Depending whatever the contract is. But I remember a funny thing is I just highly suggest it in the sense of if you ever hit in a rough patch, some writer's block, something like that. I just remember back Rainy Day Devil days. I'm going to say this was around 2013, 2014, because it was after the country band. But it was still kind of doing some stuff with Jesse Taylor, but hitting a kind of a rut because I wasn't doing any of my own actual stuff and wasn't really needed new stuff for Rainy Day Devils to feel better. We had gotten a new bass player. And it was funny because my brother JP, Jean Paul, back in upstate New York, had this really cool band, 34 Feet Deep. And he was like, hey, I need you to write us a song because we're looking for new material. And I was like, sure, I'll write. Okay, cool, I'll get you something. And it ended up turning into the song Tumbling Tide, which it was funny as hell because I got it all ready and everything and then sent it to him. And he was just like,
Oh, sorry, I didn't turn this off.
oh, dude, that's okay.
Go away.
But he ended up it was funny because I sent him the song and everything and he was like, oh yeah, we really didn't need it, I just thought you hadn't written a song in a while.
Oh.
So I ended up keeping it for Rainy Day Devils.
Nice.
And it's one of my proud pieces with that band. I think as far as like on our record, that's the most well produced, recorded, just yeah.
I know what you mean. By the time I'm done with the record, really, I don't want to listen to it anymore. But does that happen to you?
No, funniest thing.
I still enjoy it, but
I never have a hard time listening to myself to where I almost get more self-conscious about that, being like, well, God, are you that guy? Are you just the guy that like, and then, but good old Jeremy from Steel Beans, labelmate salmonellrecords.com. Check it out. It's great. He always said, well, no, I record music because there's stuff that I want to listen to that's not out there. So
that's definitely true. Like, you're making the music that you want to listen to. So
that's
I'm just talking more like when you record and then the mixing process and then you listen to it
no, there's a time
times.
there's a time period where it's like, nah, I'm gonna let that sit for a little bit.
I'll come back to that for not listen to that. I'm listen to some other stuff.
Well, then it's funny, I got caught, went and listened back to the Rainy Day Devils record the other day, and all I could sit there and think was, God, I hate this mix.
I wish I would have done that different.
I wish I would have done that different.
Yeah.
Why did that vibra-slap part take 4 hours? But it's okay. No, that's a longer story. But it's okay because I heard the vibra-slap part for Crazy Train took about 18 hours to get perfect.
No, it did.
That's what I heard from my sources say.
Go look it up.
The streets say.
Where'd you learn that? The streets.
The streets. Speaking of the streets, so you're a musician and you're on the show, so it's going to be time. We're going to take a short little break while we hear from... I'm probably going to edit that out. We're going to take a short little break, and when we get back, we'll have live music from Hunter Venturo. Stay tuned. Ladies and gentlemen, a Michaud show premiere, Hunter Venturo.
Standing in the city and I'm staring at your face. Nothing seems to matter when you're watching the world waste. I'm on the bottom, time's wearing thin, and I don't know what to do. Where I'm going when I die, is that a sin? Yeah, the smell of greed is strong and it's burning in my eyes. Tell me why. Are we blind? Through the haze of smoke, I see why you pretend. Tell me if you know. Am I just like them? Am I a liar? Brainwashed, hang dried. Should I throw it all away so I don't have to be a slave and take sides? Should I go out and get in debt so I can be just like the rest? Should be a crime. But I'm fine. Do you pay attention to what's going on around you? Should I even mention how your government's so cruel? Hey, are you listening? Or am I talking to a wall? Are you working just to pay, or working nearly every day until you die? Yeah, and is it all a game? Are you just part of the machine? Oh, just a part. We're all wrong. Staring down the path alone, and once you reach the white snow, it's where you'll search the in-between. Like everything was just a dream. Never worried 'cause you've seen it all before. Before was all you'll ever need. Inspiration from the fire. I feel the melody desired, and as I pour another drink, I slip into another dream. Revolution in a world sharing seems that are your mind. Stand amongst the wicked. Oh yeah. All right. Spending all your nights and weekends stumbling around and blindly walking forward into another realm. Oh, with your saturated evidence, your suitcase full of sand, you're wasting so much effort that you can only stand. That you can hardly, oh, that you can hardly. This air is getting hard to breathe, yeah, and you can hardly stand. Different light. Should I make believe my changing mind? Punch a hole and feel my way through time, yeah. Make my own decisions. Sometimes they're wrong. Oh, so wrong. Tripping down the mountain, try not to be last. And when you're falling through these hostile skies, do or don't feel bad. For the fools that lost the tools to fix the blazing sun, you're breaking down on fading ground, you're getting only one. Can't make it on your own. Oh, but you're the only one.
And welcome back to the Michaud Show, America. Thanks for tuning in. Remember, always looking for some sponsorship. Got space up on the walls. You can check the links down below. I got a Patreon thing going, so you can look into that. Links down below. I think that's where YouTube puts them. But anyway, Hunter, thank you for playing. That was amazeballs. If I were to describe that in an appropriate way, that was amazeballs.
Oh, thanks.
So, anything new coming up? You got any big announcements going on here for the future down the line?
Yes. So we're hoping. No, we're not hoping. We're doing it. We have Shedfest planned for this year. It's not going to be the end of June. It's going to be, July 15th, 16th?
Okay. You're bumping it back to mid-July. Nice.
I think that's right. Or it might be 16th,
and for those
17th,
first-time viewers might not know you, what is Shedfest about?
So, a few years ago for Woodshed's 10-year anniversary, we wanted to... We'd always talked about having a big generator party outside and booking all of our favorite local bands and buddies to come play. And so we did it the one year out at the Wilderfest property.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah, that sound guy sucked.
Yeah, he sucked.
So bad.
What was it? The mediocre phone. Yeah.
Oh no.
The mediocre phone.
The mediocre phone.
T-Rex costume. Yeah. No, we had a blast, so we decided to do it another year, and it was bigger, way bigger. And we had a big stage set up in a racetrack and out in Stanwood because we couldn't go out there again. But last year it got shut down because of coronavirus. So
yeah. And that, understandable. Everything got shut down, and
it was rough. But because we were full on in, it's
rolling.
Planning mode. We're rolling.
Mm-hmm.
And what do we do?
And pump the brakes on that one.
Yeah. So we held off. But we plan on doing it this year as long as something crazy doesn't happen.
Well, looking into it, I think outdoor events, and if you're doing a permitted event, I believe you're allowed a maximum capacity of 400. So, I mean, it's pretty for a small festival. It's definitely
that's about
possible.
What we pulled, I think, throughout the whole weekend.
Mm-hmm.
The last one we had,
and still can be nerve-wracking because that's a big step for just how we've been the last year or so. But once again,
there might be some backlash. But hey, man, like we said earlier, if you're scared, stay home.
Yeah, and as long as precautions are taken,
right.
making masks a thing and just social distancing, and as long as
depending
you're
on where
following
we're at
capacity,
when we get to that point.
And who knows? A couple of months
Midsummer?
from now, they may allow more capacity and whatnot
people
because
are getting their vaccines and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But Shedfest this summer. We're excited.
And if you want to go get your vaccine, by all means, please go get your vaccine. If you're still up in the air about it, I mean, that's perfectly
this
okay.
Is the great thing is this is America, and you can do whatever you want.
Yeah. That's still what makes us the best. There's no such thing as the best country, because I mean, every country has enough of its own dirt to where there are some that feel better than others, and definitely probably are more pleasant than others. But when you look in the reality of all history of all places, it's I can't even call them the best. They're but it's cool. It's cool though.
I love my country.
Me too. I really love your country too. Because I happen to be a citizen of it as well, and I think it's a great place for the most part. We definitely always have room for improvement,
right? Yeah, it's
and
everywhere's got problems.
Yeah,
we got some problems, but
yeah,
hopefully move the right direction to get rid of some of these problems. But
Yeah, I mean we can all just keep striding to do our best and try to improve things, and at least find some middle ground to where everyone can peacefully coexist.
No kidding. I'm sick of the divide.
Yeah, so that's a nice thing. That's why I'm excited to hear that news about Shedfest, because that's
live
something.
music will bring people together.
Yeah, and we can still, especially outdoor events, summertime, being outdoors, having a large enough space where people can set up picnic style, 6, 8, 10 feet away from each
however
other.
they want to do it,
And just and then just being
hopefully
safe.
things will be a little more lax by then.
Yeah.
On restrictions and.
I think so. Quick question to just throw off the topic here. Favorite pro wrestler? And this can span any generation, any federation.
I'm not a big. I was never big into wrestling, but when I watch some of the old stuff, like I gotta go with Macho Man.
Okay. Yes. Absolutely. Okay. He's like
Randy
one of my
Savage,
all-time.
man.
He does the best promos, especially during like the
It's
cocaine
the cream
era.
yeah, just wild,
Just so wild, like this, but a controlled, like a very just because he was, But I mean, yeah, absolutely, like
him and Hulk Hogan just being crazy like that, like, all the time, like.
Yeah, no, that's why see that's the charm I get for.
Did you see that video that somebody took? They chopped up all of his breathing and put it in a video, and he's just doing that the whole time. It's hilarious.
I'm gonna look that one. Oh, okay, well, awesome. So, Macho Man Randy Savage. I'm gonna write that down. I try to write down everyone's favorite pro wrestler because I'm going to eventually get a list and then make like a big collage piece just to have in the background, which is not music related to the podcast at all. But
I better start working out so I can be Randy Savage for Halloween or something. That would be sweet.
That would be sweet. Oh, man. So, book of the week. You got any books you reading? Anything you'd suggest?
Not right now. There's a Dogman comic in my car that Ender's been reading.
Awesome.
Yeah, I have a couple that I want to dive into, but I just haven't had the time to do it yet. So
yeah,
I don't know how you say it. The Silmarillion? It's a Tolkien book.
Oh, I don't know how to say that.
Isn't that
The
weird?
Similarian. I'm not gonna. Yeah, I know exactly the book you're talking about. I'm sure if you know the name, leave a comment down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe.
How to say it?
Or how to say it. Maybe type the phonetics.
I like need it in front of me. Sound it out.
Yeah. Movie of the week. What you been watching? Any Netflix show, Hulu, fascination?
I just finished WandaVision. That was a weird show.
Into comic books? Like, are you a big comic fan, or are you more just...
I was never into a big comic book guy when I was younger. I had
but still enjoyed
comic.
the show?
But yeah, I enjoy all those movies. I really love them. They're fun, There's some incontinuity in some of the stuff, but I don't know why I noticed that kind of stuff.
Oh, well, but what I enjoy
that
about
wouldn't
them...
happen.
But I think sometimes, like, one thing that drives me nuts and why I appreciate movies from the 80s so much is that, like, everybody nowadays wants their movies to be so real, and they want them to feel real, and they want it to be a true story, and they want this. And it's like, that's not the point of movies. The point of movies is an escape, going and forgetting about something for 9. You know what I mean? To where you can let
that's why
a little
those-
more of a fantasy happen to where when it's the 9mm that has an unlimited amount of ammo while the guy is running through a warehouse while holding a baby and kills someone with a carrot. Like,
he didn't reload once.
he didn't reload once. You know, or just, so that's what I like, you know, and I love so much, like, I'm just a bit of a cinephile, so I'll watch whatever, but I do just kind of find with, I think one reason why sometimes movies just kind of feel stagnant as you just go through, where it seems like they're doing all these remakes and shit, is just because they're so concerned about, like, and they'll take a remake and then just try to make it more of like a real true story, and it's just like, no, what are you doing? That was perfectly fine how it was. Enjoy it for what it was and think of something else or add to that story. Like, if you have a version or something, go right ahead, but like,
yeah, the remakes they're rough. Some of them are rough.
Even though I did just read Bruce Campbell is, I think, involved with making of the Evil Dead 4. They're going to make another one. It's going to be, that's like one of my all-time favorite shows. It leads to my movie of the week, Army of Darkness.
Oh, I love that movie.
Bruce Campbell classic. He is the finest actor in Hollywood.
The best one with a chainsaw.
They are, he hands down probably like my favorite actor. I'm gonna say, as far as I just enjoy so much of his work. Briscoe County Jr. was such an awesome show. Fed into my cowboy complex that I have.
Oh, speaking of cowboy, that was my movie of the week, Tombstone. Watched that last night.
It's such a fantastic movie. I do find a formula to making good movies is just have Sam Elliott in it.
Yeah, he's usually good in everything.
Another movie I highly suggest with Sam Elliott, awesome Sam Elliott movie. It's on Hulu. Is The Man Who Killed Hitler and the Bigfoot.
I've been wanting to watch that.
It is so good. Like, I was going into it a little weary, being like, okay, I don't quite know
that's a hell of a title.
How they're going to do this.
Yeah, like,
but it is so well done. I mean, it's lower budget. It's definitely independent film, but it is so, the story, the plot just works so well. And Sam Elliott, the man who like never ages, or he has, but only like 10 years in the last like 50 years, he just plays such a good hard ass that you can sympathize with. Like, if you see him tear up, you'll like start to tear up yourself. Be like, oh man,
like Clint Eastwood.
Yeah. Oh man,
I don't like that too. Clint Eastwood's looking old though now.
Yeah, time catches up to everybody. Yeah. Like, it's definitely an interesting time to be just a human. I mean, it'd be interesting if you were something more than just a human, too, I guess. Yeah. More human than a human. Oh, don't sue me, Rob Zombie.
Oh, man.
Speaking of that, I've always wanted... What was that like? Playing Woodshed, you played Pain in the Grass, and you played the same day as Rob Zombie, Marilyn Manson.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
I met Rob Zombie. He was super nice.
Yeah. It seems like it.
He's wearing a Peter Frampton jacket, and that was cool.
He's one of my... I really enjoy all of his films. Like,
yeah, they're fun.
Even ones that aren't critically acclaimed and stuff. I just really get a kick out of them.
I remember watching...
it's just...
House of a Thousand Corpses way back when, and being like... What is it?
Well, all of his films are just enough grindhousey style of film where it's just like, I get such a kick out of that. Him, Tarantino are directors I always go to. Yeah. But that's almost cliche, like being like, oh, I'm a big Tarantino fan. It's like, well, you should be. He makes really good films.
He makes really good movies, yeah.
Yeah. I forgot to mention Book of the Week. My Book of the Week.
Since I don't have one.
Stephen Colbert's I Am America and So Can You. He wrote this back when he was doing the Colbert Report. So this is definitely more a satire when he was a hardcore Republican.
Yeah, when he had the super PAC.
Yes. And it's just a good book. It's funny reading it now from back then, just because that's him just portraying his conservative side, and then you watch him on the Late Show now, and he's nothing
Not
like
that.
the character because he's being his true self, and it's just funny. I get a kick out of it, and it's really it's just a funny book. But so time to wrap things up here at the Michaud Show. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Hunter, where can we find you online one more time? Give out all your plugs, throw your show things, remind the people.
So, if you want to catch Woodshed, you should come see us at Tony V's in Everett on April 2nd. There's going to be limited tickets. I think they can only have like 80 people or something like that in there. So you got to be on it to get that ticket.
Get those tickets now. TonyV'sGarage.com, I believe. Find them on Facebook, Tony V's.
Yeah. And we'll be posting all that stuff on our Facebook page. Just look for Woodshed.
Facebook.com/Woodshed Band.
He's got it. You're on top of it.
I've done this a couple times. Getting better each episode. By episode 100, I'm going to have a good show. It's going to be awesome.
Woodshedband.com if you want any more info and stuff about merch, or you can hit up our Bandcamp, which is also, I think, /WoodshedBand.
Instagram, anything like that?
Yeah, we got an Instagram.
Is that at Woodshed Band?
Yes.
Awesome. I'm seeing a pattern.
There's a pattern.
It's good. It's good to have.
I like the consistency.
Any spot to pick up merchandise online? Do you got any online store going?
On our if you go to our website, we're getting a store set up on our website, but we have links to a couple other sites that will like print out a shirt on demand basis. You know.
Oh, awesome! And that's at woodshedband.com.
Yeah, woodshedband.com.
www.woodshedband.com. So many W's.
We have a page for Shedfest. It's got its own page.
Is that Facebook /Shedfest?
I believe so. Yes.
Okay.
And what else?
Are you guys on Spotify? You guys are on Spotify.
Yeah, we're on Spotify.
So just type Woodshed into Spotify.
Woodshed, one word.
Same thing for the YouTube, I imagine. Then, yeah.
Do
you guys have a YouTube page?
Yeah, well, it needs an update. We need to do some more videos and stuff. But
yeah,
we're slacking on that. But that's Woodshed Band Tube.
That's awesome.
I
like that. I like that a lot.
What else? Yeah, we got Shedfest in July. We got a couple shows coming up. We're playing in. If anybody's listening in Oregon, I think we're playing Hillsboro, Oregon it's like the 1812 Mystery Bar or something like that. So that will be April 3rd.
That's awesome.
But
road trip
right after playing a show too.
Well, thank you for coming in.
Yeah,
I really appreciate it.
It was a lot of fun.
I got one more question for you.
What's that?
Would you like to touch my ball?
I'll touch your ball.